Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm excited to say this is my first ever collaboration vlog, and well, who could be nicer to do that with than Ruan, the Yorkshire Saw girl. So I think we've both talked about this for a little while. I saw Ruan share that she got this fabric in the Rainbow Fabrics drop, which was maybe about, maybe June or July time. We both got similar fabrics actually out of that, and she just said one day, I'm going to make something out of it and I'm going to wear it to go to Sawtoon on the, I think it was the 4th of September. So I messaged her and I went, I've got that fabric and I'm going that day as well, so why don't we do a collab? So thank you, Ruan, for giving me the opportunity to do a little collab. It was lovely chatting with you behind the scenes and things. We have got some pictures taken together, so it was lovely because obviously she lives in mid-Yorkshire rather than South Yorkshire. I think have I located you in the right place? I'm in North Tyneside, so we'd never normally get together, and I love that Sawtoon gives us the opportunity to do that. So I'm here in it. I've got loads of pictures to drop in. Ruan made the Shelby dress, of which I can't remember who made it, but I will drop it in when I edit, and absolutely loved it. She rocked up to it in the day. I took this in a little soup carrier because I thought I've got me curried sweet potato soup for me lunch, and I'm bound to just slop something down it, so I thought I'll get changed into it when we go to take the pictures done. There was a couple of people in the centre going, oh, they're the same fabric and things like that. But yeah, so we had our official photographer, Tamlin. We had a bit of a hoot taking the pictures. I'm going to drop some funny ones in as well. And then some individual ones of me. So what did I make? Well, no shock to everybody that I made the Tilly and the Buttons Indigo. I had it on my mind that I love the Indigo now. But I had it in my mind I wanted to make a longer sleeve version of it for the winter, and I've actually now made two, one that I'm going to share in another vlog on a different day. So I just wanted to lengthen the sleeves. So I'll grab the pattern so you can see that pattern. So it's this pattern just here, Tilly and the Buttons Indigo dress. This comes in quite an extended size range. So as you can see, I got the paper one probably about 2 years ago now, or a year and a half. So it goes from a bust of 30 up to 48 inches, waist of 24 inches up to 42 inches, and hips of 33 to 51. And you can do it knee length or you can do it full length. I'll show you the line drawings on the back there. Mine's even longer, mine's a maxi dress, and I do find I can get this out of 3 meters of a wide fabric, just usually with a bit of like pattern skullduggery on the way. I don't know why am I doing that? What's that all about? I've got to say, it's absolute. If it's dark, yeah, you might be thinking she looks the same as she did on that one where she came back from the hairdressers. It's the same day because I'm on holiday. But it's so dark and raining outside. So there is an add-on pack which I have got for this, and it does have like a back that you can have a button-up back, puffed sleeves. And I did look at it, but I just use, you know which one I'm going to say, Friday Pattern Company Sagebrush, because they just work for me. I've got big arms, they just work for me. So I'll stand up and you'll be able to see that I've lengthened the sleeves, but I've also put, there's no button or anything on it, but I have put a cuff on it. And I deliberately did it so it would sit above my watch, and on the other arm it would sit above my, I'm not showing you that very well at all, am I? My bracelet. So there you go. So I absolutely love it. It's a viscose chalice. I think it was $7.99 a metre, and it was when a lot of the vloggers had a discount code, so there was some money off that as well. But I just love the fabric. I absolutely love it. And I have made a resolution for this winter that I am not going to be drawn. I mean, I will wear some darker colours, but I'm still going to let the colour shine through because, you know, like, why do we have to go all doom and gloomy in winter? I definitely get affected by, like, the darkness. It changes how I feel. So I want to keep things, not all the time, but probably a little bit bright and light at times. And I think I mentioned this lady on my last vlog, Belinda, when we were doing our hair. She said, sometimes you dress for your mood. And I said, I'm trying to change that. So if my mood's a bit, I put something bright on so it lifts my mood. So I'm dressing more positively. Does that make sense? Or do you just think I'm waffling on about a load of rubbish? Just typical normal vlog for me, really. So yeah, it's a pretty easy make. But I did say I love this dress now because the first time I made it, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I did a toile of it in a pink large gingham duvet cover that I was chopping up to toile things with. It was just awful. So I actually lengthened the front bodice by 2 inches, and I think I lengthened the back by 1, and that kind of works. I stand on my tiptoes so it finishes. So there's my bust, which sits quite low on me anyway, and so it sort of sits just above my natural waist. I didn't actually even put any belt ties in this today. It's got the darts. And it just fits me. I think I ran the seams in just slightly, so it's not as easy to get, it's not hard to get on and off, but it's not as easy to get on and off as some of the other ones that I have the belts with. But I just decided not to, I don't know why, I just decided not to put a belt on. So I'm over the moon with it. Really pleased. So I'll drop those pictures in now. I've probably put some in already. Some of myself and some of myself with Ruan. I absolutely love her dress, that Shelby dress. I think you can make that in a romper as well. And she had just little pink buttons down. She had like the red and pink earrings into it. She's far more coordinated than I was. I was just there with a bit of makeup and lippy on. That's quite an achievement for me. But yeah, does it go together easily? Absolutely. I think I do make things maybe in a slightly different way to some people. So when I'm making something like this, when I'm making a gathered sleeve, I do whack my differential feed up on my overlocker to 2, and I turn my stitch length to 4, and I mark the points on the pattern piece where it's going to be gathered from on the sleeve head, and I just go around it with the overlocker, and then if I need to gather it in more, I just pull one of the needle threads to gather it in more. Really like that. And I tend to sort of construct the sleeve totally and then just drop it in. And then obviously you do your darts and the facing and everything as normal. But when I get to the side of the bodice, when I'm doing the side seams of the bodice, I don't go down to the bottom of the seams, because when I'm gathering, sometimes I get myself in a bit of a pickle if I do like the whole skirt or the whole ruffle, trying to get them even. I know we've all got different ways, so I guess I'm just sharing with you a way that I find easy. So I kind of leave the bodice with about this much unsewn at the side, and then for this, you'll see in the pictures, it's a long, like a fairly long panelled skirt, so it's just the skirt panel for the indigo lengthened, and then I just cut some rectangles out. Sometimes, as I did with this, I can actually turn it around and I just place all the pattern pieces on, so I actually end up with like some massive, it's like 3 meters, so some long strips along the selve edge, and if they're deep enough they can become the ruffle. So sometimes you might see that my fabric's around the other way and stuff like that. If it's leopard print or spots, you know, unless it's really obvious, doesn't matter, and that just sometimes means you get more out of it or have some left over. Does that make sense? So when I'm doing the gathering for the sleeves, I also gather the top of all the ruffle. So I've joined them together and I make 2 ruffle pieces and I put it up to 2 on the differential feed. So I gather it all through. Then I also gather the waist, because that's gathered in slightly as I don't know how well you'll be able to see on there. That's gathered in slightly too. If I go like that, you can see. There we go. I'll probably do that on 1.5 because it's not gathered in as much. So differential feed on 1.5. And then what I do is I attach the ruffle to the skirt. I sew it along and then I overlock it along. And then if there's any excess, I just would chop that off at the end. So I do the front and back skirt like that. Then I attach that piece. God, I hope I'm explaining. Does this make sense? So I have, say, the front piece of the skirt with the ruffle already attached. Then I would attach that to the front of the bodice and I'd just gather it in a little bit more if it needed it. And then I'd stitch that along. And I'd do the same with the back. And then I would literally go from here on the bodice and go straight down the whole side seam. So I would sew it and overlock it. I used to just overlock everything, you know, but occasionally I obviously, I don't know, pulled it and a thread would go and then I'd have a hole. So I've started to sew and overlock now. just because I want my garments to last and look after them. I was probably trying to take a bit of a shortcut, really. And you don't have to overlock, you can zigzag if you want to. So yeah, I just thought I'd explain how I do that skirt differently. So that Ruan has ties in the back of hers. So when I go like ties, I'm like this a group I'm talking about, Frylight and... Does anybody else have gestures for certain things I do? So why I'm talking about Ruan's ties, why am I pretending that I'm tying them behind my back? What is that all about? Don't know. But if you've come over today because you've heard Ruan mention about my vlog and you've not been here before, you probably think, oh, she's a little bit bonkers and all. But thank you for stopping by. And if you like it and you want to hear a bit more, give us a little subscribe as well, and a like, that would be fantastic. So yeah, if you've had this fabric, let me know what you've made. You know that I love to chat in the comments to you as well, so it would be great if you share any of those. And yeah, just a big thank you, and I hope that you've enjoyed my first collaboration. I've got another one coming up as well. I'm so excited. Thank you and take care. Happy sewing.